Sure. That's good. Okay, I just fixed it. Yeah, let's go.
Just between the whistles, you just play whatever song. Actually, it's small. Cluster shows. Small. Oh, alright.
One that helped us with the points, yeah.
20 minutes. I mean, they're 29 minutes.
Two girls that play too.
Oh, really? Are they dressed right now? Are they just like practice?
One's a goalie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys aren't gonna get home for like 4 or 5 in the morning, right?
I'm leaving at 9.
Oh, you're staying here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That would make sense to me.
And we're about set for puck drop here in Wilmington, North Carolina. You've got the App State Mountaineers and the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. And the face-off one to App State, controlled and sent into the offensive zone. Handled by Trent. Played on to the defenseman. And it'll be cleared by Coastal. They'll make a move into the offensive zone. Feed across. He's got a good chance, and he missed one. App State will look to clear. It's chipped up the boards. And will be collected by the Chanticleers. And icing is waved off. Handled by App State. Press back into the offensive zone. Try a centering feed. And it'll be cleared. Nope, held in at the point. Shot on goal, stopped by Wilcox. Cleared to the corner. Handled by Coastal Carolina. Trying a centering pass. Intercepted. Fed to the point. Shot again. Didn't get through. Chipped off the boards. Looking for a clear up the left side. Doesn't get out. Now Richter. Fed back into App State's defensive zone. Wilcox will settle it down. Fed back to Casper behind the net. Looking for Richter off the left side. He tries to clear again. Held in by Coastal. Shot on goal turned aside by Wilcox. Into the slot. A feed in front. Broken up. Shot again blocked. Humble tries to clear. It gets through. Richter working his way in the offensive zone. They're on sides. Fed out front. And he gets a stick lift. And they score! App State on the board early. 1-0. And one back down into the Coastal zone. Another shot on net. Turned aside. Work back to the corner. Coastal trying to get it out. It's held in at the point on net. Just goes wide. Coastal forcing it out of the zone. Intercepted in the slot. Makes a move. Fed out front. Didn't get through. From the point, another shot. Stopped. Off a deflection. And they shoot again. And they score! 2-0 App. A hot start for the Mountaineers. 2 goals in the first 2 minutes. Mountaineers, after a 5-hour drive, came to play. An early 2-0 lead with 18:02 still left in the first period. The draw won again by App State, handled by Sink, the captain. Over to Casper. Back to Sink. Feeds it across. Didn't get a stick on it. Scheppelman tries to get in, and they step up to hit him. Cleared all the way down. That'll be icing. And go back down into the Coastal Carolina defensive zone. What are your thoughts so far?
Definitely a crazy game so far with only 2 minutes in, and we scored 2 goals. Like you said, 5-hour drive. Guess they stretched those limbs beforehand.
Pre-game work and preparation. It all comes out on the ice when the puck drops. Scheppelman will be taking the draw in the offensive zone. It's one back to the point. No, Coastal Carolina will chip it out. Sink handles it. And he feeds it back in. D-man to D-man for Coastal Carolina. They send it down the length of the ice. No touch-up. And it'll be icing again. It was all Coastal Carolina for the first minute, and then App State got it into the offensive zone and took advantage of some chances. They're also controlling the face-off dot. Let's see if they win another draw here. Humble on the draw. He makes a move out front, gets stripped. Another shot on net, goes wide. Fed, carried up by Richter. He'll send it back deep. Humble tries to forecheck on it. Collected by App State. Back to Casper. Puts a shot on net. It goes wide. Coastal will send it out. Back down the length of the ice. No icing. Number 12 gets stapled by Casper against the boards. Collected by Coastal, sent back up to the left side. Richter will pinch it off. 20 for Coastal, controls and shoots, but it goes just wide off the side of the cage. Fed into the slot. Carried out by App. Fed across. Good zone entry, a move made, he's in. Another save for Trent. Now Metzger will step up and just chip it in and it'll go out of play. 16:34 remaining in the first. Face off at center ice. Casey for App State taking the draw. Tries to make a step around move and it gets swatted away and sent back into App State's defensive zone where it's collected by Miller. Fed up to Presley. Presley goes for the chip pass and it hits the ceiling and that'll cause a stoppage. Casey again on the draw against number 20 for Coastal. Cleared out. It's a foot race. No icing. Brady chasing it for App. Puck is loose, collected by the defenseman for Coastal. Held in the offensive zone by a good forecheck. Casey tries to keep it deep. D-man to D-man. Metzger controlling on the left side. He looks for Presley, deflected into the zone, and Trent will cover to force a stoppage. Face off to the right of Trent. One back by the Chanticleers. Shipped off the glass. Controlled by App State. Up to the sideboards. Fed out of the zone. Controlled through center. And sent in. Travels around where Coastal Carolina will pick it off on the other side and put a shot towards the net. Cleared out. Dangerous chances. Wilcox is on it. And they'll get the whistle. Strong start from Wilcox in net. Plenty of block shots as well. Another draw. App State defensive zone to the right of Wilcox. Shuppleman on the face-off. One back by the Chanticleers to the point. Sent on net. Turned aside and held on to by Wilcox. Good concentration shown by the goaltender there to stay with it. Pull on the draw for App State's 97 for the Chanticleers. One back by Humble. Chipped up the right side. Henley can't control. Coastal sends it back deep. Four picks it off on the other side of the net out front. Wilcox says no. And now Richter will take it through center. With a head of steam, he makes a move, tries to get around, pushed into the wall. Sent back up to the point. Put through traffic, turned aside by Trent. Here's a seam pass. 97's walking in. And it's in. 2-1. A good move by 97 on a seam pass from the defensive zone, and the Chanticleers have cut the lead in half. So a 2-1 hockey game with 15 minutes left in the first. A lot of action so far. Center eye face-off controlled by Casey. He goes down, and the Chanticleers will control. Move it through center. Little flip in over the head of Miller. Bodied up by number 45. Presley sends it over to Brady. Brady walking through center. He makes a move, gets into the offensive zone, and throws on the brakes. They'll send it deep. Controlled by Casey, or rather not, and sent back up the half wall by the Chanticleers, where it's cleared out. That'll go all the way, no icing. Miller will control behind the net. Slow it down. Looks to his wing, where it can't be controlled by Presley. Brady finds Casey through the middle, and he gets dropped. Good open ice check. That's sent far corner. Casper is on it. Chips it to number 93. And it'll be offsides. We'll reset and have another face-off outside of the Chanticleers' attacking zone. Shots are relatively even so far. 6 minutes into the first. Good scoring opportunities for both teams. This will be sent deep. Wilcox controls behind the net. Lets it go past. Metzger tries to get it out. Number 12 has something to say. He shoots. Stopped by Wilcox. Presley bodying up in the corner. Number 23 for Coastal comes away with it. Stuck in the ref skates. He'll come around behind the net. Tries to make a move, but Metzger's all over him. And that'll get out. Number 2 for Coastal chases it down in the defensive zone where he's pressured by Scheppelman. Along the half boards, it's attempted to get out, but it stays in. And there will be a penalty on Coastal. It'll be a power play for App State here with 13:35 to go in the first. Already up a goal. Let's see what the call is. Not a definitive signal from the linesman there. 2-minute minor. Boarding is the call. The draw is won by App State. But here come the Chanticleers shorthanded. Sink back on defense. The shot goes wide. Good pressure from Coastal on the penalty kill. And they'll reset to kill time. They'll send it the length of the ice. And there's another attacker on the puck. Very aggressive penalty kill. Feeds it out front. Intercepted, and now here comes App State. They have numbers if they hustle, but it's 3-on-2 in favor of Coastal. Sent deep where Richter's on it, behind the net. Controls and keeps it low. Fed back, behind the net. Searching for a lane. Fed back across, up to the point for Casper. Casper circles and finds Sink. They play catch. Casper makes a move, he walks in. He'll go behind the net. Works his way around. Dishes it off for Richter. Back behind the net. App State playing keep away. Chipped up to Richter. They'll look for Sink. Sink finds Casper. Back to Sink's skate, where it's kicked away and controlled by Coastal. They have another walk-in opportunity. The shot gloved down by Wilcox. No whistle. No control. Sink will reset behind the net. Get some fresh legs. Fed off to Casper. Too far. Humble tries to find Richter, intercepted again by the Chanticleers, and they'll send it back into the App State defensive zone. Wilcox will control behind the net. Pressure from 45 on Coastal. Humble will settle it down in the corner. They look a little tired out there. Metzger will work it up the left side. His way into the offensive zone. He's got a shooting lane. He shoots high right. Comes all the way out. And Miller will try to control in center ice. Ultimately, Casey takes over the puck. Weaving through the neutral zone. Presley will get it deep. Brady's on it. Lets it go back to Metzger, who tries to get it deeper. But now there's another move, and Metzger intercepts a pass. Lost his skates. Control at center, and that's chipped through, but Casey didn't see it. Go past his stick. 14 for Coastal tries to send it around, and Presley keeps it deep. Attempted clear, but a body's laid, and that puck is out of play. Another stoppage. 11:05 remaining in the first. Face-off will be to the left of Trent, the Chanticleer goaltender. back to even strength. 2 will try to chip. That didn't get out of play, and it'll be controlled by Sink back in the defensive zone. Captain tries to find Moffitt. Intercepted by Coastal. Miller tries to make a move and loses the puck. Taken back control by Chanticleers. Fight along the boards, and it's cleared out. It'll go the length of the ice. Wilcox will play it off the glass. A good pinch from the Coastal defenseman. But ultimately, it's cleared to the neutral zone. Deflection, no icing. Coastal will recollect in their defensive zone. Humble strips them. There's a shot. They score again! 3-1. Top shelf. Great shot from the right side. An offensive explosion in the first 10 minutes of the game. As App goes up 3-1. Still plenty of hockey left to play in this game, but early on it's been all App State. Stick fighting before the puck drops. It's won by Coastal. Casper will try to get it deep. That puck is out of play yet again. Face-off will stay in the neutral zone. To draw one back by the Chanticleers. They'll work it up the left side. A bounce. A sharp angle shot turned to the side by Wilcox. 13 for Coastal keeps it deep. Back behind the net. Humble lays a body. And it pops out to the slot where it'll be cleared by the Mountaineers. They chip it in deep. A good blow-by move. And he biffs it into the wall. Advanced by Coastal, but stripped away by Robbie Richter. Casper attempts to keep it deep. He gets dropped. A shot on net, turned aside by Wilcox. Richter will chip it up the boards, try to get it out. It doesn't get out. Casper will control up their left side. Make a move through the neutral zone, enter the offensive zone, try to put one on net, but it gets blocked. Now Coastal comes the other way. Speed. And there's a bounce, but they're calling offsides. Under 10 to go here in the first. That faceoff will come back into the neutral zone. The faceoff won by Coastal Carolina, controlled by their defensemen. Back skating into the defensive zone, they go D-man to D-man. Big hit along the boards, but it's advanced by the Chanticleers. A stick gets in the way, and that goes out of play. Another quick whistle. We'll have to do it all over again. Face-off shipped out into the neutral zone. It'll go all the way back down to Coastal Carolina defensive zone where they control, not without pressure. And there's a big hit along the boards. Ref's got his arm up. That looks like it'll be boarding on number 38 for App State, Riley Brady, the freshman from Raleigh. He did come in, hit him in the back. So App State will be a man down for the first time tonight. Penalty minutes 2 apiece now in this first period. Face-off will be to the right of Wilcox. To the left, pardon me. Sheppelman on the draw for App State, number 4 for the Chanticleers. Bryant. Face-off won by Coastal. They send it back to the point where it's controlled by their captain. He feeds it down low. Wilcox shuts the door. He can't get a hold of it. Puck behind the net. They try to feed. A good block by Metzger. And that will get out of the defensive zone for App State. And they'll have a chance to reset. Center ice pass. They walk in. A shot goes over the net. For 5. Handle it in the corner. He'll send it back below the goal line. It looks like they're going to try and set up the power play here. Shot from the point, held on to. Wilcox catching the deflection. Some big saves so far in this game for number 42. Still a minute 20 on the penalty to Brady for App State. Face-off won back by Coastal. Controlled at the point by number 26. Down to 97. They'll look along the wing. Tries to get it out front. Deflected on net. And it's cleared. Trent will come out of the cage to handle it. Sends it up the wall, but it's controlled by the penalty kill for App State. And now the Chanticleers will work it up. Feed up the left side. 97 steps in the zone. 45 drags the skate to stay onside. Working it down below the goal line. He'll step around the cage. Try a wraparound. It's out front and cleared away by Casper. 2 will send it back down below the goal line. Casper for App State is on it. Chips it back to the point. That comes on net. A good look there, but Wilcox shuts the door yet again. .36 seconds left on the penalty to Brady. 7:11 left in the first period. 3-1 App State. Casey on the draw for the Mountaineers, number 45 for the Chanticleers, and that gets cleared all the way back down where it will be handled by Trent. Good job on the penalty kill for App State. And now they make one last gasp on the power play. That's put on net. Just wide. Another opportunity. He had an open cage. That'll be stripped by Casey. He'll send it back down the length of the ice for the last 10 seconds of this penalty kill. Coastal will reset and try and get one last rush. It's even strength. Put in towards Wilcox. He'll let 78 Miller control that and feed it up to Casey, who gets a chip on it. Tries to make a pass. Brady fresh out of the box. Tries to shake and bake in the offensive zone. He gets pushed against the wall. Here's a control opportunity. Knocked down by Trent and cleared to the corner. Metzger tries to pinch, and he does hold it in. Back down behind the Chanticleer net. They'll break it out. That gets sent deep, and it'll be icing if they don't beat it out, and they do. Feet out front, stick lift. Now here comes Richter. Tries to make a move into the offensive zone. He goes down, no call from the linesman. It's controlled by Coastal. Sent back around the boards. They'll break it out through the neutral zone. 24 sends it in deep. 20 will try to catch it on the other side, but it's intercepted by Miller, and he'll try to work it out. Chips it up. Richter's got a look here in the offensive zone. Steps around, goes below the goal line. He'll throw on the brakes. Looking for a passing lane. Takes a shot, glove down, put back on net, and it goes behind the goal again. That's chipped out to the point. No, intercepted by Coastal Carolina. They'll break it out to the neutral zone. Being pestered by Brady. Offsides waved off, and Sink, the captain, will control it. Chipped off to Humble. They'll work it back down deep in their own defensive zone, playing keep away. and they chip it out to center ice where Scheppelman will try to control, but he can't. The Coastal captain will fight for the puck with his own teammate and chip it down into the zone. Presley controls behind the cage, but he's pressured. Scheppelman on the left side, he tries to chip it out, he can't. The defenseman pinches, that's blocked by Sink. Good stick lift there against the boards. That's out front, stopped by Wilcox, another opportunity. They reset, they have another opportunity out front. Shut down, another good block from the App State defense. Brought into the zone by number 8. He'll try to make a move, but he lost the puck. That's back to the point. Walking the line. Tries to get one through. It's off a skate. Offsides. They wave it off. They clear the zone. Moffitt can't control on a pass through center. Another opportunity entering the zone for Coastal. Lose control, but Scheppelman loses it with their linesman right there. Walking in is 17. He gets stripped. Less than 4 to go here in the first. Another zone entry. That's wide. Scheppelman trying to get it out, but it's held in. Good pinch. Fed to the slot. No dice. Controlled in the corner by Casper. He sends it off the glass, but it doesn't get out, and that goes high. Miller trying to keep it deep. Fought for. Casper comes away with it. There's a body on him. And that gets out. Brady with the puck tries to make a move, and he doesn't. And it'll be offsides. Nope, waved off. Coastal comes away with it. Another zone entry attempted, but Casey strips it off him. That's too far for Brady, and it'll get down for icing. And that will be a draw back in App State's defensive zone. 2:55 remaining here in the first. 3-1 game. Shots are in favor of Coastal, despite the scoreboard. They've had a lot of chances. Flurries around the net, centering passes. Wilcox has had an answer. This face-off will be to the right of the App State goaltender. Casey wins the draw. Feeds it to the captain, Sink, who sends it behind the net. 26 is on it for the Chanticleers. He sends it deep for 45, who gets a centering pass. A shot stopped again by Wilcox. Another save. Through the neutral zone, but Coastal will turn it up ice. Try to get a chip deep. App State controls. Turning away is Sink. He'll walk it up. Looks for a pass. Doesn't have one, but Brady's on it in the offensive zone to negate any icing call. That'll be put on net. The goalie comes way out of his crease. Kick to the point. Sink holds it in. Chips it deep for Casey. That'll be sent back behind the net by the Chanticleer defenseman. And they'll break it up their right side. Intercepted by Richter. He'll try to chip it back towards the offensive zone, but it's taken back by the Chanticleers. They'll move it across. Shot in deep, glove down by Wilcox. And he'll hold it for a whistle. Under 2 remaining in the first period. Face off to the left of Wilcox. Won by the Chanticleers to their captain. Tries to lay one on the net from the point. Doesn't get through. Back to the point again. The winger looks for a cross-ice pass. He doesn't have it. App State's controlled the middle of the defensive zone so far in this game, negating any opportunities from the slot. D-man to D-man. Deflected by Richter. And that's called as interference. So he did not have the puck. They'll be sending number 77, Jake Humble, to the box. Senior forward for App State. second power play of the first period. This will carry over into the second if there's not a goal scored. Chanticleers hope to capitalize on this opportunity. Brady on the draw, he loses it, back to the point. Coastal. Get it in deep to 8. He tries to take a shot, but he comes off his stick. And it'll be cleared down by the Mountaineers. 61 will reset for Coastal. They'll wheel it up the right side, pardon me. 5 controls. He looks across. They have a zone entry. Sent deep to the corner for 4. Sent to 61 at the point. Walks the line. Tries to get to 8. He can't hold it on the first pass. He'll send it to the point. Shot swallowed up by Wilcox. Less than a minute remaining here in the first. 1:23 left on the penalty to Humble. Face off won by Coastal yet again. Control on the right side. Feed it back. That's a good shot off the post. Oh, that was close. Wilcox is probably praising the iron for that one. Back to the point. Back to 8. Circles he can't control. He looks. Oh, he had him open on the back door. Off the shin pad. Richter tries to get it out, and Casey will secure it. Taken back by the Chanticleers, they'll circle it back and move up ice. Through the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. He's got a head of steam. He makes a move. He gets out front, but Wilcox gets it with the pad. Under 10, and that'll chip out of play. With 3.9 seconds left in the first, 38 seconds left on the penalty to Humble. Looks like it will carry over in the second period with about 34 seconds left on. Brady taking the draw for App State. He loses it to the Chanticleers. And that'll wind us down to the end of the first period. 3-1 our score from Wilmington. All right, we're preparing for this puck drop of the second period. 3-1 App State lead. Still on the penalty kill to start this frame. Shots are in favor of the Chanticleers so far. Wilcox has made a lot of saves. Some bad bounces, unfortunate for Coastal Carolina. All right, we're ready for puck drop here in the second period. McAdams for Coastal on the face-off, along with Henley for App State. Sent across the neutral zone and into the attacking zone for the Chanticleers, but it'll be turned right back by App State. They call no icing. There must have been a deflection. Pretty fight will settle behind the net for Chanticleers and try to feed it up the side. Penalties ending. 77 will be exiting the box here in a second. 5. 2 taking it up the left side for Coastal, but it's intercepted by App State. Wheeled behind the net by Coastal again. They retain possession. Fed across and caught. Good glove. Wilcox has been snagging them out of the air tonight. Sure-handed on that glove side. His face-off will be his right. The draw won by F, but kicked to the point for Coastal. 5 will send it back deep below the goal line. Bounced on by the Chanticleers. They'll send it across. Fumbled a little bit. He can't control it. His spin around, try to put it on net. Kicked aside by an App State defenseman. That's Murphy Sink. Be chipped out to the neutral zone where it's controlled by Coastal. They'll try to get it back in the offensive zone. Their captain walks in, loses it on a stick check, and they'll get it deep. Controlled below the goal line, but Sink breaks that up. They'll try to work it up the right side. That's snuffed out by Coastal. Held in at the point by number 5, and it goes off the wall. Controlled by App. They'll send this the length of the ice. No penalty anymore. They get there in time to negate the icing, fed off the back of the cage, and picked up by the Chanticleers. They'll send it to the neutral zone. Touch pass. 97 walks it in, and he'll just dump it deep. And that'll be caught by Wilcox, and he'll hold. And there's a whistle. Tried to play it down, but not fast enough. 18-20 left here in the second. Still a 2-goal game in favor of App State. Penalties 2 for App State so far in this game. 1 for Coastal. Relatively disciplined so far. Face off to the left of Wilcox. Off it on the draw for App State. Run by Coastal, but App State tries to press it out of the zone. That's a shot from the point. Goes wide. Adams on it. For Coastal to try to get it deep. Sent behind the net. Picked up by App. They'll try to pitch it up the boards, but a pinch from the defenseman. They'll send it back in deep. Tried to get one on net, but it went just wide. That'll be chipped back down deep into the zone. Working it up the right side. Can't get much room, and he's stripped by Coastal. They'll work it deep again. Fight in the corner. It'll be chipped up the boards. 27 tries to get one on net. That's turned aside. Trying to break it out on the left side is App, but it's controlled again and held in. That's a pass across, but it's broken up. Corner. App State player hits the ice. Trying to work it up the side, but it'll be lost by Coastal. He fell down, and it'll be a breakout for App State. They step in the zone. Offit trying to get on it. There's 3 Coastal players in the area. He comes away with the puck, put it towards the net, turned aside by 35. A pinch from the point. That's batted down by a Coastal stick. It's 27. They'll pitch it up the boards. Cross the red line. That's offsides. Like the App State player pushed him offsides, though. will come out to the neutral zone. 17 even remaining here in the second period. D-man to D-man, they'll play catch. Sink will take it up to the red line and just get it deep. Chipped up the boards, controlled again by the defenseman. They'll go D-man to D-man. Sent in deep, offsides negated as they clear the zone. They'll attack again. Henley pressuring in the corner, he can't get to it. It's in the neutral zone. Coastal's got control up the left side. Fed across, but there's no recipient. They get it on a bounce off the boards. Back to the point, 61. Throws one on net, it goes high and out of play. Another stoppage. Despite the scoreboard, it's been a closely fought game so far. Coastal is still in this game. Every way you look at it. That's stopped at the point by a good pinch from the defenseman. He blocked it down with his knee. They work it behind the cage. He's dancing around the wagons. He'll feed to the slot. There's an opportunity. Blocked out front. I don't think it got to Wilcox. And it'll be cleared. Settled down. They'll play catch at defense. Tries to get a cross-ice pass. That's swatted down by Henley. He'll walk into the offensive zone. A good look here. Puts a backhand behind the net. It'll be picked up by Richter, who tries to settle it back below the goal line. But it's collected by the Chanticleers. Richter tries to lay a hit. Be controlled in the defensive zone for the Mountaineers. Work it up the middle. That's Casey. Finds Brady. Presley walking in. He shoots. Stopped by 35 for the Chanticleers. This is another face-off in the offensive zone for App State. To the left. Goaltender. Casey tries to walk through, but it's stripped by the Chanticleers. A good check there laid by Brady. Didn't knock him off his skates, but it got him to get rid of the puck. Tipped up and a pass. Didn't see it. Five will come over and get it deep again. Scheppelman will reset. They'll send it back behind the net where Metzger will collect it. Pardon me, Presley. Tries to send it through the middle of the ice. It gets blocked down. That's punched off the boards. Brady tries to settle. And they're going to call a high stick. Face-off will come back down into App State's defensive zone. The draw one to the point by Coastal. They'll put one on net. Stopped by Wilcox. Swatted away. Puck held in along the half wall. They can't keep it in the offensive zone. They'll have to reset. Captain controls. Look for a center ice pass. It goes off a stick. App State will get it back. Then Coastal retains possession. Big hit along the boards. 17 walks away with it. Still on his skates, and he'll chip it into the neutral zone, controlled by App. They'll play it off the boards. This one flips to the offensive zone, but no recipient. Cut off by Brady. He'll circle back. Chip it in behind the net, and they'll get some fresh legs. Coastal with a long pass off the boards, and they're going to call an icing. Didn't get the touch. Under 15 left here in the second. Still 3-1. App State hasn't been able to formulate good breakout yet this second period. They've had some opportunities in the offensive zone. It's come at the expense of Coastal turnovers. Off it on the draw. They'll win it back to the point. Locked down. That's out front. No recipient for that pass. Moffitt tries to get it back, but Ford will break it out for Coastal. He's got a head of steam. He breaks past the defender. He's in the zone. Can't control the puck. And that's a good block from the defenseman. That's Murphy Sink, the captain. 51 for Apple. Try to get it on the fall to the ice. That'll be sent down. No icing. Controlled behind the net. Little pass to the slot. It's intercepted. The shot blockered down by Wilcox. To the point 27. Tries to get one through. It doesn't make it. Chip back to the point. Held in again for the Chanticleers. And that one is also held in. Good stick reach. App State will control. Wind it deeper into their own defensive zone. Where it's retaken by Coastal. Fight along the boards for the puck. It's loose, and it comes back to the point. They'll settle, try to put one towards the net. That's off a skate. Covered by Wilcox. A scrum around the front of the net. I think he's on top of it. No goal to call right now. A lot of confusion around the crease, but it looked like Wilcox was laying on top. I'll do the face-off to his right. They'll line up the draw. Played in deep by Coastal. 45 will pressure to try and pinch it off on the half wall. Force it back below the goal line. Body's being laid. Walking around behind the net. Tries to get a centering feed, and they'll be turned up ice by Richter. Gets into the offensive zone. Tries to get out front. He gets stapled against the boards. But Humble controls it back to the point. Metzger puts one on net. Turned aside. Sharp angle shot. Also blocked down and covered. Good concentration from the Coastal netminder. .12:34 remaining here in the second. Still 3-1. Face off one by Coastal. Work it behind their net. That's 61 controlling the puck. He'll chip it up the boards for 28. We'll get a move into the offensive zone. He'll shoot. Stopped by Wilcox. I think it goes out of play, and it does. Another quick stoppage. Draw one by App. They'll just punch it out in the neutral zone. Brady gets on it. He'll chip it deep, and that'll go behind the cage. Controlled by 35. He'll send it back around. Casey bodies up along the boards. But 23 for Coastal walks away with it. He's through neutral ice. Off an App State stick, but into the hands of a Coastal player who shoots. Stopped by Wilcox. Presley works it up the right side. For 2 for Coastal comes away with it. Now 61 will settle behind the cage, pressured by Presley. Tries to get it to 12 along the half wall. 2 will work it out. Feeds it across the 28. Will just slap it deep. Wilcox will turn that aside. Presley lays a hit there. Now here comes number 93, Luke Miller. He walks in the zone. He puts a backhand on cage. 2 stops in a row for the Coastal goaltender. That's a lead pass, and he goes down. He can't control it. Often try to contain possession behind the App State cage, but he doesn't. Now Coastal will control it in the offensive zone. They'll circle the wagons a couple times. Chip it back to the point for the captain. 17. He'll try to put it on net, blocked down by his own player. The wraparound attempt, snuffed out by Wilcox, and he'll cover. About 11 minutes remaining in the second now. Some good opportunities for Coastal so far in the second period. App State needs one more on the ice. They'll send out Sheppel to be the 5th man. Draw one back by Coastal. They play it to the point. Sent down to the winger. He'll try to work it deep, but then he'll look back to the point, but it's taken away by number 93. Out of the offensive zone. Sent right back in by the captain. Miller will control behind the net, send it back around for Sheffelman. It's intercepted, and that jumps over a stick and gets back out to neutral ice. Coastal will have to reset. Plays it off the boards, walking through. Gets stopped up by Sink, captain on captain right there. That's a chip back deep in Coastal's defensive zone, where it's controlled behind the net by number 5. He'll stop on a dime and reset, picking up the wing. He's got a man and misses sticks and goes all the way down the ice, no icing. Coastal's on it though, number 4 coming away with the puck. He looks for a centering pass and he misses everything. It goes into the hands of Moffat. Moffat feeds Richter. Richter tries to make a move, a good stick there from number 5. Miller will just punch it back in deep and that goes out of play. Off a stick. $10 minutes even remaining here in the second period. App State starting to formulate a few chances here as we get to the halfway point period. Doing a good job of holding that lead. Humble, Richter, and Henley on the ice as the forward set. Richter controls off the draw. They'll be broken out again when Chanticleers. They'll come across the red line, make a move to get into the offensive zone, get down to the corner, and we sent back to the point. 27 tries to pull it on net, gets blocked down, goes to the right side. Another shot tries to get through. Wilcox has an answer for it. Collected along the half wall again. Body laid by App State. That comes out to neutral ice. Richter makes a move, and he goes down. Good check. Just got enough of him to knock him off his edge. Stick on the hands from Henley. A 19 for Coastal will send it up the boards. He gets hit hard by Richter. Now 27 for Coastal will control, and he'll just send it back in deep. Metzger will settle it behind the cage. Try and set something up. He whiffs on the first pass attempt, and then gets it back. Batted out of the air with a high stick, I guess. Not. Henley pitches it ahead for Brady, who can't control, and now 19 for the Chanticleers will turn it up. Feeds to 26, who chips it in deep. Adams, number 45 for Coastal on it. For one of his teammates. That comes out to the slot. 61 has a look, and it just goes wide. I think it got deflected by something. That goes up and is gloved down by a Coastal defenseman. He'll walk it in. Looks like he wants to get the breakout in the offensive possession. He'll make a move, tries to get around a guy, but Wilcox chips it out to the slot, and there will be a penalty on App State coming, their 3rd of the game. Up to the linesman for the goal. It's a holding call, 2-minute penalty. Number 90, Carter Metzger, senior defenseman, Wake Forest. They'll sit for 2. Coastal with their 3rd power play now. They'll set it up back to the point. Winger open, he'll feed it back to the captain who wants to rip one from up top. Steered aside by Wilcox. They'll settle at the point. 61 makes a move around 85 for App. He'll work into the slot. He has a look, he'll feed it off to his winger, who sends it back to the point. Controlled. They'll work it deep. Circle, try to feed a slot. Oh, just a little bit out of the wheelhouse. That's steered aside by Wilcox. Controlled on the right side for Coastal. He tries to make a pass across. They got a stick in the lane, and now App can break it out of the penalty kill. Here comes Casey. He'll just flip this towards the net. It goes past and brings off the boards. He's settled down by the Chanticleers. And that's punched back in by Humble, continuing to chip time off this penalty kill. Coastal will send it around the boards. 8 will control and move through neutral ice. Walks in with speed. He makes a move. He puts one on net. That's off the post and in. A power play goal for the Chanticleers. And it's 3-2. off the post, and then it sat and trickled in. Cut to a one-goal game. 7:14 remaining in the second. Still a whole third period that we're waiting on. Wilcox has been good tonight. That one trickled past him. That'll bring us back to even strength here, and the face-off is won by App State. Controlled by Presley. He'll try to feed it up the wing to Henley. But it's intercepted by Coastal. They'll get it back in the offensive zone and then lose possession. Puck bouncing around. Richter can't control. Now he will settle, but he can't get it out of the zone. It's pinched off. And there's another penalty coming against App State. This will be their fourth of the game. Looks like it'll be the captain. Murphy Sink, number 18. Chanticleers, who just capitalized on a power play opportunity, will get a chance to do it again. App State successfully killed off their first two penalties, but the third one bit them in the foot. They're hoping this one won't, too. Under 7 remaining in the second now. The face-off won by Coastal will set it back to the point. Their captain, 61, looks back to 8. 8 looks back across the shot. Missed the net. He had a good look. Stops on a dime. He has another look to 61 in the slot. That goes wide. Picked up along the half floor. Number 4. Settle it down. He gets it to 17, the captain. He'll feed it to the wing. That one sent down low through the wickets. 61 settles at the point. Feed it down to the winger. Moving it around, looking for an option. He steps into one, and it goes just wide. Taken behind the net. Fed back to 8. He makes a move. Walks in. Dangles. Shoots. That's blocked down. Held in the corner again. Back to a wide open point man. He's got a look. He rips one off a stick, and it goes high. Controlled yet again in the corner by Coastal. They'll feed it back to the point. Another shot doesn't get through. That's blocked again. And this is a shorthanded opportunity for Riley Brady. The goaltender charges out of his cage. What a play. 26 will send a long pass up the ice, but it can't be controlled by 4. Under a minute left on the penalty kill for App State. Presley tries to walk into the zone, but gives up on it. And now Coastal will break it back up the right side. There's a whistle. And number 45, McAdams for Coastal, will go to the box. Even strength, 4-on-4 for the next 34 seconds. Then it'll be a minute 26 long power play for App State. About 5.5 remaining here in the second. This is just the second penalty on Coastal tonight. Face-off won back by Humble. Richter circles. He'll try to get it back deep. Humble will control along towards chip it. Circles behind the net. Tries to fling one out front off a body. Directed to the corner. Coastal will clear, and that'll be icing. And there's another penalty on App State. It's Robbie Richter, number 27. So never mind the power play coming after the first penalty got killed off. Be 4-on-3 for Coastal. The discipline these teams showed early on has fizzled away here, halfway into the second period. App State has taken 3 penalties in a relatively short amount of time. We'll face off to the left of Wilcox. Humble on the draw for App State. He loses it to Coastal. Stay at home on a 4-on-3 penalty kill here. Captain for Coastal directing traffic. He'll send it off to the left side. Back to the point, a shot gets through, stopped by Wilcox. Collected in the corner, moved up the half wall. 4 will settle. Now across the high slot, they try to feed it down on a touch pass. 8 will settle below the goal line, circle the cage. Look for a passing lane. He'll find number 5 at the point, who gets knocked off the puck by Riley Brady. App State will survive that chance as they get back to 4-on-4 hockey with that first penalty to the Captain Murphy Sink killed off. That gets in deep. Metzger pressuring. Coastal comes away with the puck in the attacking zone. Looking for a passing option. He finds number 8, who shoots again and just misses the net. Controlled by 17, sent over to 18. They'll work it up across the red line. Off of Wilcox's chest, directed to his right. Scheppelman sends it back below the goal line, where it's settled down. But intercepted again by Coastal, and they'll feed it right back to Scheppelman. Scheppelman finds Humble up the right side, off of Brady's stick into the attacking zone. Collected by 18 for Coastal, but he's brought down to the ice. Him and Brady both on the ice. 8 will collect and send it back around to number 4. He'll settle it below the goal line and break it out up the left side. 4-on-4 for 3 more seconds, and then Coastal will have a short-lived power play. And that'll be pinched by number 45. He'll get it back in deep. Presley will control behind the net. He gets brought down, no call. Controlled below the goal line. He'll walk around the cage. Sends back to the point for number 18. He whiffs on the shot attempt, and then that goes wide on the second try. Backhand clear attempt doesn't work. Now Robbie Richter will walk into the zone. He's got an opportunity. He's got a guy to pass to, and he goes off the side of the net. And now number 26 will break it out for Coastal. He'll look for a cross-ice pass. Nobody home. Sink will settle. He'll fail to clear the zone. He turns it over. That's a shot. Missed the net. That'll come back down to Wilcox. He'll settle it for his captain, who drops it back for Presley. Presley pressured by number 3 for Coastal. He'll feed it up to Richter, who tries to get a chip out of the zone, and he does. 27 will come to collect for the Chanticleers. He'll throw on the brakes and feed it back up the side to 2. 26 will turn and head up ice. He's not alone in the attacking zone. He wheels it behind the net. For a passing lane, nobody home. Walked down again. That's off the stick of Wilcox. He chipped it up in the air, and there's a scrum to his left. And his teammates will come away with the puck. They'll work it through the center ice. Humble with an opportunity. He's walking in, and he turns it over, but Henley has a knockdown there to keep it in the attacking zone. Here's Casey. Can't find anyone, and he's stripped by number 3. They look for the stretch pass across the ice. It jumps over the stick and goes deep into the zone. Metzger pressuring. He goes down. Settled again by the Chanticleers. They'll try. Oh, they avoided an offside by a diving play. 26. 14 will settle near the red line. That's steered aside as it's thrown in on Wilcox. Cleared back around. Henley will chip it up the boards. And it gets out. Coastal will come away with the puck. It's turned over yet again, and here's Casey with it. He'll turn back. Feed it to Miller. Miller tries to work it up the right side to no avail. Controlled and shot. Missed the glove of Wilcox. It went right. Presley feeds it back to Casey, who fell down, but he maintains control. That pass attempt is deflected. Richter will hold it along the boards. Feed it back to Metzger. Richter again through neutral ice. He gets the puck stolen from him, and there's a zone entry. They call offsides just by a step. 31.4 seconds remaining here in the second period. A 1-goal game. 3-2 App State. This faceoff will come back to the neutral zone. lot of opportunities for Coastal here with these power plays. App State's lack of discipline in this period has only hurt them once, but if they keep it up in the third period, they could be in for a world of trouble. His face off in front of the Chanticleer bench. Richter for App State. He loses the draw. Here comes 17 for Coastal. Also into the zone. He tries to make a move towards the center of the ice. But we stripped again. Here comes Richter. Looks for a pass off the stick of Miller. Can't control. He gets it back. He has a shot. Stopped by number 35. He'll freeze it. Clock stops at 20.1 seconds. Presley will take the draw. He's got Richter to his right, shooting position. One through Richter, skates controlled by Scheppelman at the point. The deflection doesn't get through. Richter will collect. Try to chip it in around behind the cage. He controls and works his way around. He'll turn around, try and feed one in front of the net. It's blocked away. Brady controls behind the net. He tries to make a centering feed, and the Chanticleers will come away with it. They have opportunity to make a move here. Here comes number 8 walking in the zone, and that'll wrap up our second period. Nearly a scoring opportunity for Coastal Carolina to end the frame. Score holds 3-2 after 2. And the third period is underway here. Face-off controlled by Coastal. They'll work it up through the neutral zone. Captain walks in the zone. He looks for a cross-ice pass. Shut down by number 78, Miller. Feeds it up for Richter, who can't control it. Chipped back and brought into the offensive zone for the Chanticleers. He's harassed by an App State defender. And Humble will walk it across the red line and chip it towards the net, where it'll be steered aside by the goaltender. Fighting the corner, they're pushing and shoving. Intercepted again by 8. He'll feed it back behind his own cage for his captain. Passed off. Sent across the ice. It'll be tapped back to number 4. We'll circle back for another passing option. Will blow past Richter and walk across the red line and get into the offensive zone. Pushed away there by Casper. Presley will backhand it up the boards. It'll be kept in by Coastal. Shot just wide. Held in at the point. Miller controls it for App State. Then he loses it. And he gets it back to feed it to Presley. We'll look across the ice for Richter. Just get it deep. Cross corner dump it. That's off a Coastal skate. It'll bounce to Brady for App State. He'll just chip it into the offensive zone. It's picked back up by the Chanticleers. They'll work it up the boards. Off a stick. That'll negate icing. As Wilcox will tap it off for Presley behind it.
How's it going?
He'll circle around. And back into the defensive zone controlled by the Chanticleers. They'll move it to number 61. Off the stick. Up to 45 McAdams. Part of the zone. Where he's harassed by Presley. And gets to the middle of the ice. Metzger will settle it down and send it back behind his own cage. Sheffelman will take it on the other side. He can't control it. Still isn't out, and now finally they clear. Sent right back in by Coastal. They've got 2 bodies on it already, and that's Fed. He's got a look. Off the skate, another save by Wilcox with the left pad. A good opportunity for Coastal to tie the game, but it's shut down. 2 players for App State on the side. The attack. That comes all the way back down. Metzger will settle. He'll send it over to Presley. Presley harassed and he'll end up turning it over at the point. Sheffelman comes back down. Chip it behind the net. Presley late reaction, and 23's all over it for Coastal. Chip it in for 26. Gets it taken away by Metzger. They'll fight in the corner for it. Coastal comes away with it. They'll feed it back to the point. 14 sends it back in. Out of the reach for 23. Another good pinch by the defenseman. That's out of play. Off an App State stick. Just under 17 minutes remaining in this third period. Still a 1-goal lead for the Mountaineers. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Humble lining up for the draw for the Mountaineers. They'll win it back off of Casper's stick and into the corner. 12 pressing for Coastal. 28 will come away with it on towards Richter. Pressure from behind and a good opportunity in the slot, but just hold off the stick. Will try to chip it out. Held in at the point. Another shot blocked down by the captain, Murphy Sink. A lot of shot blocks for the App State defensemen today. They've been clogging up the lanes. Richter makes a move and gets in the offensive zone. Puck is taken again by Coastal, but they lose it at the point. Murphy Sink holds it in. He throws one on net. Fight for the puck around the side of the net. Humble sends it into the corner. Trying to make a cross-ice pass to the slot. That comes out of the reach of Casper. Sink will flip it back. Cross corner dump. Glove down by a Chanticleer defenseman. Brady will walk up the ice with it. He's across the red line and into the attacking zone. He comes down the left side. Puts one on net. The goalie was down on the butterfly, but it went high. Metzger will send it back up the right side. Presley sends it into the zone. It pops onto the stick of Brady. He walks in, gets a body laid on him, and he loses the puck. Coastal will turn it up ice. Have a good look across. 97 sells it, drops it back for number 8. Stopped by Wilcox, and he'll freeze it. Another save for Nicholas Wilcox, who's been performing really well tonight. in search of his first win for App State. The draw to his left. It's controlled by Coastal at the point. That's up high, glove down, not controlled by Wilcox. Fed back out front and punched back behind the net. Casey will feed it up to Presley, who sends it across the ice and in the defensive zone. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, they'll work back up the ice. 4 walks into the offensive zone. They'll try to feed it to the slot. It's broken up and held in by the captain. Just throws it off a shin pad. It's out front. A good opportunity here, but the puck's spinning. And another block there. That's Miller. Now 97 for Coastal will break it back in the zone. He gets a stick lift there from Miller again. Now Moffitt will control through center ice. He'll feed it off to Sheppelman. Back to Moffitt. They cross onsides. Another shot just wide. Now Presley will chase it down in the defensive zone. No icing. He'll feed it up to Humble. Who leaves it for Presley. Presley gets a body put on him, and he'll feed it into the goaltender, and he'll just cover that to get another whistle. 14:22 remaining here in the third. Still 3-2. Face-off won by Coastal. They'll swing it up the boards, and it's held in by App State. Down low to Richter. Goes around behind the net for a passing lane. They'll try to feed it up to number 7, Presley. Bounces off a stick, and Coastal will break it out. They try to get it in deep, but Richter knocks it down with a body. Coastal turns right around and sends it back in. Presley will punch it off the boards. Henley tries to control, and it'll end up on Richter's stick. He taps it off to Humble. Humble entering up the left side. He'll rip one towards the net, and that's caught. Their glove save. After a rough start to the first period, Coastal's goaltender has really settled into a groove here. Had a hard time getting anything past him, and their scoring chances have been limited to perimeter shots. Face-off controlled by Coastal. They'll try to break it out, but it somehow stays in the App State attacking zone. They get it back in deep. Brady pressuring, plays a body, but it's cleared by Coastal. They'll break it up ice across the red line into the attacking zone. Makes a move around Miller. Tries to feed it across, nobody home. On his own rebound, he chips it back deep. Miller will control and feed it up the boards for Presley. Presley drops it off for Casey. Casey moving up the ice. He's got Brady, and he'll just elect to flip it into the zone, but it's taken by Coastal. They'll punch it off the glass. And that's in on Wilcox. He'll direct it to the side of his stick. 12 for Coastal's already fit. Pushes it back deep towards 20, but he can't control. Miller will try to feed it out. The captain, number 17, will walk in. He's got a good look. He scores! Tie hockey game. Coastal's come back from being down 3-1 and has answered to tie. Just under 13 minutes left in this hockey game. And it's all tied up. It's exactly what Coastal needed. Exactly what App State didn't need. Just a good shot on a nice pinch by the defenseman, number 17, and he made it happen. Face-off won by App State. They'll chip it in deep. Kicked off skate. Coastal tries to clear it out. And it comes through back into App State's defensive zone where Metzger will settle it. He tries to feed it up to Sheppelman. Skips over a body. Goes back to the Chanticleer defenseman. They'll play catch and deflect it into the zone. The forecheck is successful. Number 4 walks to the puck. He's looking for a passing option. That's shut down by Metzger. Back to the point. The captain again, the goal scorer just a second ago. He'll try to feed it deep. Number 97 for Coastal. Looking back to the point. Another shot that's stopped by Wilcox. And that'll be cleared, but it'll go down for icing. Just over 12 minutes remaining now. Going to come all the way back down. The App State defensive zone. Face off to the left, Wilcox. Number 4 for Coastal in the draw against Sheppelman for App State. Swatting at the puck, it's sent back to the point. Pitch down to 97, it jumps over a stick and gets into the corner. Sheppelman pressuring, he gets a body, it glues to the wall. Fighting in the skates, he comes away with it. Coastal tries to make a centering feed, they do, and it goes just wide. 8 will circle the wagons, he'll try to get him to move out front, but it's taken away. It comes back to the point, he tried to take a shot there, and now it's an odd man rush for App State. Presley tries to feed it over to Moffitt, but it's out of his reach. He'll send it back in deep where it'll be picked up by Coastal. They'll feed it up the side. Presley will take it. It's to the red line, sends it back in. No icing. He's slowed down behind the net. Pass up ice, deflected. They called the icing off, but then still blew the whistle. They'll take the draw in the neutral zone due to the miscommunication. Humble on the draw for App State. It's controlled by the Chanticleers off the draw. Send it in the zone off the skate of App State. Casper behind the net, he can't control. He gets rubbed out by 45. 3 comes away with it. Then it's picked up by App State again. Try to get a pass up to the middle of the ice. Richter can't control it. So it's knocked off his stick. And that goes out of play. Just over 11 minutes remaining. Face off in the neutral zone, won by App State. Casper chases it down. He'll slap it around to Richter. Settle it back off the linesman skates and picked up by Coastal. Feed it through their own players' legs. Be picked up by Henley on the far side, and Casper turns it back around. Richter tries to get to it. He'll chip it. He'll make a move. They're into the attacking zone. Richter with a shot blocked down by the goaltender for Coastal. Another solid save. Hit through neutral ice. Dances through defenders. That's stopped up by Henley. He'll break it in the offensive zone. He'll slam on the brakes, make a move. Just the puck into the corner. Brady keeps it deep. That puck's bouncing on its edge. Casey will pressure. He's got it. Tries to make a move. He's stripped. And that is up into the ceiling on a flip-up attempt. Calls another stoppage. 10:04. Game tied at 3. Face off, chopped into the zone by Casey with App State. Pressuring on the forecheck, comes to the point for Miller. He'll send one towards the net, takes an odd bounce, confuse the goaltender. Now trying to control here in the offensive zone. 2 for each team fighting for it in the corner. They'll pop out to a Chanticleer winger. They'll move it up the ice. On the breakout, he crosses the red line and will dump it in off the boards. Metzger circles behind his net, pick it up. Brady's met by 2 Chanticleer players. Brady tries to flip it out, and he does. It's off a glove. They're calling icing. That'll bring it back down into App's defensive zone again. We have under 10 minutes to go, 9:27 on the clock. Draw controlled by Coastal for 97 coming away with it. Now App State gets it back. Casey trying to work behind the net. He's got one hand on his stick and he scoops it around the boards. Presley will meet it on the other side. He'll try to feed it up to somebody, but there's nobody home. Coastal will regain possession and slow it down in their defensive zone. Play catch across the D-men. They'll start the breakout. That pass off a skate deflected deep into the zone. Metzger turns around to find it. Chips it up the boards, but right to a Coastal stick. He makes a move. Number 8, working in the slot. He ran into his own teammate. The shot blocked down. Confusion in front of the net. Back to the point. Feeds it down to the winger. He'll spin. Roughed up a little bit. And Miller will work with his brother to strip him of the puck. Metzger working it up the left side. Now off the Miller stick. He'll work into the offensive zone. Coastal comes away with it. Sends it across the ice. No recipient on that pass. Chopped at. And here they come. The attacking zone again. The Chanticleers, a nice move. Out front off the pad. Wilcox shuts the door. And the sharp angle shot. Moffitt breaking it up. Scheppelman loses control and will be turned back up by Coastal. He'll move into the offensive zone. He gets to the goal line where it's knocked off his stick. Humble will play it off the boards. It gets knocked down by the ref. Now Scheppelman tries to clear over a glove and Moffitt with pressure. Number 8 remaining. Broken up through the middle. Number 2 for Coastal. Had to dance around his own teammate. Feeds it in, turns Miller around, feed it back behind his net, out of the reach of Murphy Sink. 45 for the Chanticleers, controls along the boards. Will chip it to the point where it's pinched in and a shot attempt gets blocked. Miller will settle behind the net, go for a clear. That's glove down, and it's off the glass on the shot attempt. Put up a stick. It's another save by Wilcox. He can't glove it down to freeze it. Sink will control behind the net and push it up to Henley. Henley loses the puck. Centering feed. Out of the reach. Behind the net, 26 for Coastal. Looking for an option. He's sure there was a sharp angle shot off the stick of Wilcox. Held in again at the point by the Chanticleers. Sink feeds it around. Nobody home for App State. Now out of the reach of Moffitt. Go down for another icing. .6:52 remaining in the third. It's getting down to crunch time. Face off with the left of Wilcox. Draw one by Humble. Back to Sink. So feeds it behind the net. Stopped by Henley. He tries to feather it out to Humble. Send it up to center ice. Glove down by a Chanticleer. He'll collect. Try to feed it back in. Grady lays a body. He's been doing that all night. 12 has something to say about it in the corner. On Miller. That's fed all the way down the ice. No icing as the goaltender comes out to plate, and that goes out of play. Off a high stick. Faceoff appears to be in the attacking zone for App State. Crucial draw coming. The 85 Patrick Casey on the draw. Metzger and Presley at the point. Draw controlled by Coastal. Brady pushes it back deep, below the goal line. 61 for the Chanticleers is on it. He'll feed it back to his defensive partner. Circles behind the net. Trying to get away from App State player. Backhand opportunity shut down by the goaltender yet again. Hasn't allowed anything to get past him since the first period. Casey on the draw again. A fight for the puck and it ends up Coastal stick. Stretch pass. Deflects off the stick and be controlled by Presley. Tries to push it up the boards. Intercepted. That's a sharp angle play there and off the side of the cage will be settled down by Wilcox. We'll have another draw. 5:45 remaining in the third. Still tied. App State has had limited chances since the first period. It's been mostly Coastal getting good shots on goal. Majority of the high-quality looks. That's blocked down. Another save by Wilcox. Need to be quick with the reflexes there. As it popped into the slot for a surprise shot. Draw one by Coastal. Shot glove down by Wilcox. He'll have another whistle. Wilcox has been peppered all night. 3 have gotten past him, but they're still tied. That's high off the glass. Moffitt circles back to collect it. He'll feed it up to Miller. Miller crossing into the offensive zone. He tries to make a move, and he does. He gets around, and that's out of the reach of his teammate. Good look there. Scheppelman fighting for it along the boards. Coming away with it is Moffitt again, but a stick from the defenseman takes him off the puck. Feed it across the defensive zone. Now it's moved up by number 5. Casper on it for App State. They'll feed it across to Sink. Sink chips it up the boards. Be taken back by Coastal. Sent ahead to number 8. Circle back. Pressured by Richter. Come across the red line and into the attacking zone. The Hennessy will try to feed it up to 4. Out of his reach. He's stapled along the boards by Sink. And Humble comes in to lay a body on number 8. Trying to feed it up to Richter there. It doesn't get through. 2 will backhand it back into the zone. Casper will collect. Comes around his own net and feeds Richter. Richter tries to make a feed across the ice, deflected down. Come away with the puck and try and move it up ice. He loses it. Recollect. They'll just get it deep. Sends it around behind the Coastal cage. Richter pressuring in the offensive zone. Doesn't stay in. Comes out to Henley. Henley trying to feed Casey. They can't get it deep. Down goes a Coastal player. No call. Henley back to Metzger. Metzger looking for Casey off a stick. Too strong. Casey will circle back. Work it up himself. He's got Presley if he needs him. They'll make a move into the offensive zone and go down. No call. Now Presley comes through. He's got the puck. He tries to make a centering feed, but that's snuffed out. Circling back is Metzger. He'll swing it around and make a nice feed up to Casey, who will deflect it in. It'll be chased by Brady. He'll fight for it in the corner. He tries to center it. A lunging attempt doesn't result in a transition of possession. That'll be fed up. 1-on-1 on the left side. A shot. Stopped by Wilcox. Again, the glove. He's been flashing it all night. .303 left to go in period number 3. The game is tied at 3. Face off to the right of Wilcox. App State will send Casper off the ice. Bring Brady back on. Scheppelman on the draw. It's one back. Miller trying to hold it off in the corner. Tie up. The skates. Fighting for the puck behind the net. It pops out front. Wilcox is there on the post. Still fighting for it. It's still loose. 28 will come away with it for Coastal. Feed it back to the point. That shot is blocked off a stick. Fed to the middle. Presley controlling. Needs to get it out of the slot. Another shot, and they score. Top shelf over the shoulder of Wilcox, and Coastal takes a late lead. 2:39 left in the third, and it's a 4-3 game. They've rallied from down 3-1. Two third period goals have sparked the comeback. App State has been held scoreless since the first period. And it would appear App State's coach has decided to take a timeout. Sure, App State got too satisfied with their lead and decided to stop pressing as hard as they were early on in the game. Also, the lack of bounces and luck ran out. Chances have been all in the favor of the Chanticleers through the second half of this game. It's make or break time for App State. Down a goal, only 2:39 remaining to play. Coach likely drawing up something to generate a good opportunity here. After the goal, the faceoff will be here at center ice. Humble will take the draw for App State. Ryan for Coastal. And it's controlled by App off the draw. Chipped in. Richter tries to collect. He does end up getting it on the wing. He puts one on net. It goes high. Casper pinching at the point. He'll throw one on net. That's blocked down by a shin pad. Gets low. Richter trying to control behind the net. It's taken away from him and held in at the point. And Coastal will get it out. Sink on it. Try to chip it back to the boards. Feed it off the glass. Be controlled by Coastal. A body trying to be laid by Richter, but he ended up on the ice. That's sent all the way back down, and there's an icing call. They'll take the face-off back down to the App State offensive zone with 1:59 remaining on the clock. Down a goal that's drawn. It's one of the more crucial ones in the game so far. Feet of the goaltenders left. Face off controlled by Coastal. They'll try to chip it up the boards, and they'll get it out. Starting the rush. Dropped off for number 4. He'll shoot one, stopped by Wilcox, and he'll cover. 12 seconds run off the clock between draws as we change ends. Face-off controlled by App State. They feed it up the wing. Presley trying to make a move into the zone. He gets hammered into the wall. Brady takes a shot. It goes high. Controlled by Walsh. They'll feed it across. Captain working it into the offensive zone. He'll park it at the blue line. He gets a body laid on it by Brady. Casey will control below the goal line. They'll settle it down. Minute 20 remaining. Feeds it off to Miller. Miller working up the left side. He has a defender to beat. He falls down, and a huge opportunity for Coastal as they walk in, but Wilcox, and there's a penalty coming on App State. That's not what you need. With a minute 7 remaining, down a goal. An unfortunate turn here late in the game. App State will go back on the penalty kill. Chanticleers on the power play. Face off to the right of the goaltender. Richter on the draw for App. Tries to win it forward. He can't. Played back down into the zone. Chipped low. 45 McAdams will control for Coastal. He'll send it to number 3. Back down below the goal line. Sink will be on it for App State. He'll send it around the boards. Held in at the point. Chip back deep. 26 controls along the half wall. Sends it back below the goal line to 45. They play catch. Back to 45. And for a centering pass, he'll elect to go back to the point. Number 2 will settle it down. Looks like they're playing a bit of keep away here with the man advantage. Wasting time off the clock. 26 back to the point. 2 looks for a shot. He'll feed it across. Trying to center it back up. Here's a rush for App State, shorthanded. It's Miller and Richter. Feeds it to Richter over the stick. A good opportunity. 22 seconds left in the game. Back into the offensive zone, but it's controlled by Coastal. They'll elect to send it in deep. Back to Sink. Sink tries to feed it up to Miller, but it's out of his reach. It'll be controlled by Coastal. They circle it back behind the net. Under 10 seconds to go. They'll work it up the side. Off the glass. Out of the reach of 97. And that's the game. 4-3 win for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, coming back from down 3-1.